Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
With Alberta coming off the end of an unusually dry winter season, the province is expecting another year of wicked wildfires. Our Ben Lowan has more.
2023 was a record year for Albertan wildfires, and this year is looking to reach similar numbers. With Alberta coming out of a second El Niño winter, the dry conditions are leaving perfect fuel for devastating wildfires. Last year's season took a big hit on the province, and Vermilion River County Fire Chief Kirk Hughes says these wildfires also have bigger consequences as a whole.
I mean, the medical is right there in regards to problems with asthma and breathing, but mostly it also just changes a lot of the environment for our residents. Typically when people go on vacation, they leave and they go to some of the more touristy and beautiful parts of our province. And last year, that didn't quite happen.
Last year's historic wildfire season burned over 2.2 million hectares of land, and over 13,000 people were forced to evacuate. The next closest year was 1981, with 1.3 million hectares burned. Last year, over 60% of wildfires in Alberta were man-made, and Wildfire Information Officer Derek Forsyth had some advice for people planning on having campfires this season.
Enjoying the outdoors and you're going to have a campfire, we ask them to make sure that they've soaked that fire, stirred it, and soaked it again before they leave it. Make sure it's cool to the touch, and and to obey the specifics contained within the fire restrictions, advisories, and bans.
After the record year for Canadian wildfires, Forsyth now notices more people taking action to prevent these deadly fires.
People are taking a far greater awareness on the threats from wildfire this year. We're getting lots more calls on our FYI fire line. People checking to make sure that things they want to do, like have fire pits.
If you see a wildfire, it is recommended you call 911 or your local fire department. For Primetime Local News, I'm Ben Lowan.
It's time now for Retrospect. Here is Callum Hawker.
This week in Retrospect, we take it back to April of 1995, where just like today, the local golf course gets set to open for the season.
Without fairways pumping water like crazy out here out of traps.
Getting the 18-hole layout ready for the new season is the #1 priority of the maintenance staff. And once the weather warms up, Belix says golfers can expect a few more cosmetic changes, starting with a par 3, number 16.
We're going to do some renovations on that area. Right in front of the green where the sand trap is, there's that bad spot. We're going to fix that up. There will be some green surrounds that will be resodded because of terrible dead spots because of disease, that sort of thing.
It's weather like this that has got Belix concerned, and the long-range forecast calling for more of the same until Sunday, which could put a damper on when the course opens. But for the Pro Shop staff, it's still business as usual.
We've got junior lessons coming up at the end of April and running through May. We've got ladies beginner lessons starting in May also. We're open every day here in the Pro Shop, and they can pick up their memberships, they can pick up the driving range passes, and hopefully hit some balls in the driving range.
And in 1999, local 4-H members get educated on evaluating their livestock in hopes of making the Saskatchewan judging team.
We want a good depth of heel, because these heifers are going to have to walk for a while.
Over 120 4-H members gathered to evaluate both livestock and grain. Competitors' goals ranged from gaining experience to making the provincial judging team to compete at exhibition.
The big competition is in the Nelson Lumber one, which the kids there, they compete to go on to the provincial level, and the provincial competition is the qualifier for exhibition teams. So that one's pretty stiff competition.
The Nelson Lumber competitors were vying for one of 8 positions to judge in Prince Albert. From there, 8 people will be chosen to represent the province at the international judging competition in November.
Juniors and the seniors that aren't quite to the age qualifications that they have to be to go on provincially, this is just a learning experience for them. It's a really good opportunity to get in there and have a hands-on touch to everything. The qualifiers from today that from the Nelson Lumber. They'll go on to the provincial competition, which is hosted in Prince Albert this year, and anybody that's lucky enough to get on the provincial team will then judge at Agribition this fall.
Oral reasons are also given by the senior 4-H members. The reason being, it's a component at the provincial and international levels.
Class of Simmental yearlings, I placed them DCBA.
I think basically, you know, a lot of people come in and say, oh, I don't know anything about a pig or anything, but the kids have to listen to the judges and listen to see what they're telling them, what to look for. It's a good way to learn to be able to compare things, and I think that's the thing that we stress the most is the comparison part, and to be able to kind of place one animal over the other. So it's just a good learning experience to be able to express yourself not only on paper but in a verbal way too.
And that's all for this week in Retrospect.
Retrospect is brought to you by Webb's Machinery. Find New Holland products at Webb's Machinery, your dealer in Vermilion, Vegreville, Lamont, Wainwright, St. Paul, and Consulate.
The Saskatchewan Summer Games are less than 100 days away, and to celebrate, the Games Council as well as Lloydminster City Council held a volunteer recruitment event in the Lloyd Mall.
All right, so thanks everybody. Have a great day.
The Saskatchewan Summer Games Council is excited for the Games to finally be coming to Lloydminster in 2024 after the city lost out due to COVID in 2020.
It is an exciting time. You know, we've been planning for many years, and it's like all of a sudden you get to that 100-day mark and things are going to go quick now. And we just wanted to celebrate that we made it this far, and we wanted to get the community really as excited as we are about the upcoming Games.
In order to make the Games as successful as possible, Lloydminster City Council is putting money towards upgrading the sporting facilities around the border city.
It's improvements that will serve our community for many years to come, from baseball diamonds to archery ranges to and a broad perspective. That indoor floor that's going to be there for the wheelchair basketball will be huge, because that is going to turn in every surface in our city into a new surface, especially ice surfaces. We'll be able to lay that down and get dual purpose out of that surface.
The Games still need many volunteers, and if you don't have access to a computer or would like to sign up, you can go ahead to Lloydminster Public Library and they'd be happy to help. Callum Hawker is back in now to take a second look at our weather forecast.
Thanks so much, Leanne. Yeah, a beautiful day here in Lloydminster. It looks like probably the only good day that we will have this week in terms of temperature. It will drop off. Should expect some flurries tomorrow late night, which is not great, especially after getting into some nice spring weather. But currently 15 degrees, a drop off of 1 degree since I spoke to you guys last. And the winds have died down a bit. They're at that 26 kilometer an hour mark, but was closer to 35 kilometers an hour before. But yeah, a great day here in Lloydminster. As we look across the region here, Athabasca up at that 8 degree mark, while Whitecourt and Edmonton are both sitting at 9 degrees currently. Edson at 8 degrees, same with Rocky Mountain House. Out in Jasper, we're sitting at 7 degrees currently. And Red Deer up at 11 degrees currently. And then as we look at the Saskatchewan side here, Meadow Lake at 14 degrees, North Battleford at 15, Prince Albert at 13, Saskatoon at a nice 17 degrees, and Melfort is at 12. And then as we take a look at Fort Chipewyan, 10 degrees there, Fort McMurray down at 4 degrees, High Level at 6, Peace River at 9 degrees currently, Grand Prairie at 6 as well, and then Slave Lake at 4 degrees. As we look over at Stony Rapids, we're seeing 10 degrees currently there, Wollaston Lake at 9, South End, Buffalo Narrows, and La Loche at 13 degrees, while Flin Flon is currently at 12. As we look at the travel forecast tomorrow around the region here, it looks like a lot of snow and a lot of rain in a lot of these places. Meadow Lake, high of 6 degrees, snow and rain in the morning to be expected. Bonnyville, high of 5, with a lot of clouds coming in throughout the day. Provost, high of 7 with 70% chance of precipitation, so expect a few showers out there. Isle La Crosse, high of 6 degrees with some rain coming in throughout the afternoon. And Paradise Hill at 5 degrees tomorrow with some snow and rain coming in the afternoon as well. And as we take a look at Murnum, a high of 4 degrees, cloudy and windy throughout the day. Pierceland will be a high of 5 with a lot of clouds as well. Unity at a high of 5 with some snow too coming in throughout the day. So we're seeing some snow in a lot of these places. Wainwright a high of 6 degrees, cloudy and windy throughout the day. And Calgary getting some snow as well in the morning tomorrow, high of 3 degrees there. And then as we look at tonight's forecast in Lloydminster, will be pretty cloudy and a low of 1 degree, so not the warmer nights we've been seeing as of late. And then as we get into the 7-day forecast, so yes, to be expected, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday could see some snow, unfortunately, and the temperatures do drop. A high of 5 tomorrow and a low of 4, or -4, sorry. Wednesday, a high of 1 with a low of -7. Thursday, a high of -1 with a low of -7, so a cold day on Thursday. Friday, it's going to warm up quite a bit, not as cold there, a high of 5 and a low of -7, and then on the weekend, that's when we see the temperatures really get better. Sunshine and pretty warm throughout the day on Saturday. Will be 10 degrees at the high and a low of -4. Sunday, plenty of sunshine coming in throughout the day, a high of 12 and a low of 0, and then starting your week next Monday, mostly sunny, which should be good. Some clouds coming in throughout the day, but that 17-degree mark looks very nice after getting some snow earlier on in the week, and a low of 2. That's all for your second look at our weather forecast. We'll have some more news with Leanne after the break.
We have a special guest joining us today on Primetime Local News. Josh Turner is here from the Blackstrap Glamping Resort. Josh, thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I want to talk first of all about what glamping is. I think most people know, but just in case they don't, let's just talk about what the definition of glamping is.
Yeah, so the real definition of glamping is somebody took the words glamorous and camping and mushed them together and formed this new genre called glamping. So it's been around for a little while. I think the whole experience has just been elevated over recent years.
And not exactly roughing it, I guess, is the bottom line when it comes to this.
No, not at all. There's different levels of glamping that you can have. Some just a simple A-frame where you bring your own stuff. We took it to the next level, I believe, and you definitely have a luxury experience in the heart of nature.
Well, let's talk about the domes at the Blackstrap Glamping Resort. I've seen some of the photos and they look amazing. How many domes are there? And what if somebody books these when they come, what is the experience like for them?
Yeah, so right now we have 4 domes on the property. We're building 2 more for the spring. We're going to get cracking at that real soon. So each of the domes is actually bigger than people think. It's a 508 square feet inside. So you've got a large living space in there. Inside, you're going to find your own private bathroom. There's a plush king size bed. There's a mezzanine area. You have all your amenities inside with your kitchen. You have a toaster, coffee maker. We provide all that stuff for you. And it even has heated bathroom floors just in case your feet get cold.
So this obviously is a place where people come to relax, but if they want to take in nature and do some other things while they're there, what else can they do when they're on the site?
Yeah, Blackstrap's absolutely an amazing park. There's in the wintertime, there's lots of great snowshoe skiing trails. You can brave the mountain and get to the top of that. Lots of great ice fishing and having those experiences as well. Into summertime, again, Blackstrap really comes alive. We also own the tiki bar that's there, so we've got a fully licensed tiki bar serving up margaritas and pina coladas and Jimmy Buffett music, and you can come on down there. The beach has one of those inflatable water parks, so if you have the kiddos, they can go out there. Lots of great parks, lots of hiking trails. It's just a really beautiful spot.
And how far in advance do people have to book? I've heard that this sells out, or people are trying to book and it doesn't take long and you might not be able to get that specific dome that you want or even, get one if you're not on your toes, I guess. So how far can people book ahead? And is there a spot still available for the spring and summer?
Yeah, the uptake on this has been absolutely amazing. It's blown our mind. We've been almost 100% occupancy since we've opened, which has been amazing. And then now all of our weekends are booked up into October, I believe, with maybe a few that are around there. During the weekdays, there are some spaces that are available, but again, for our Julys and August is already at 80% occupancy. So it's yeah, people better jump on it really quick if you do want something for the summertime, and just be a little bit more flexible with your plans.
So where exactly is this located for those who are not aware?
Yeah, so we're right in the heart of Blackstrap Provincial Park. So it's about 25 minutes from south of Saskatoon on Highway 11, just near the Dundurn town area there.
So if anybody's looking for information, whether they want to book this year or in the future, and just kind of one place where everything is, where they can see pictures and find out about the experiences, what's the best place to go to check that out, Josh?
We love sharing all of our experiences on our social media platforms. So our Instagram and our Facebook, we're very busy on those to share everything that's going on in the resort, all of the progress, some of our guest experiences, and all the new additions that's on there. So I definitely recommend people following us onto there. We've got some very, very exciting additions, including two barrel saunas that we just opened up on the resort, and so we're adding some really cool things here for the spring. So people definitely want to follow up on that.
Well, Josh, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. And this place looks so beautiful. It looks like a perfect place, especially if, we want to stay around in Saskatchewan and you don't have to travel too far, but you can still have an amazing experience. So thank you so much for joining me. And I wish you a great spring and summer.
Oh, thank you so much, and we look forward to hosting you out at the resort sometime this summer.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
Today I'm joined by John Locke, the chairman of the 4-H Expo, which will be taking place here at the Lloyd X coming up this summer. And so thank you so much for being with me today, John.
Happy to be here, Thomas.
And so for those who are unaware, John, what is the 4-H Expo?
So 4-H Expo is when all the clubs in our community all come together. We host it at the Lloyd X, and it's the 4-H clubs of it would be the greater Lloydminster area, I guess you can say, from both the Alberta and Saskatchewan side. They all come together as their own club and compete with their year-long projects, whether it's beef, sheep, light horse, crafts, canine. We have a plethora of projects that the kids have been in all year that they've signed up through with 4-H, and they come and compete as their club against the other clubs and individually against the other members of the other clubs.
And you mentioned that there will be clubs from the greater Lloydminster area. Exactly how many clubs are going to be there for the 4-H Expo?
So I believe there is 17 clubs in total that are coming, and that's right from the multi clubs that have different crafts or cooking projects or canine projects, right to the ones that are single project clubs like the light horse clubs or a few of the beef clubs are strictly those projects only. Yeah, I think there's 15 of them that are signed up to be coming to Lloyd Expo this year. So it'll be exciting to see them all come and be under one roof.
And so you mentioned all the variety of different clubs, so there will be various different disciplines on display. Just talk to me a little bit about where they're all going to be kind of located and what people are going to see at the 4-H Expo this year.
The one that takes up the most space and is the biggest numbered is the beef show. It would be usually we're considered, I don't know this for sure yet because we don't have our numbers of how many kids are coming and how many projects are coming, but traditionally we are one of the biggest ones in Canada, being hosted here in Lloyd, so that's always exciting. The beef wise takes up the most amount of space and has the most amount of people in it. Those projects are heifer, cow-calf, 3-year-old cow-calf, and steer. So in those disciplines, you can, if you took a female heifer calf, you show her this year bring her back next year as a cow-calf pair, and the year after that as a 3-year-old cow. The steers, you pick a steer in the fall, you hopefully get him to a finished weight, and then from there take him to the sale that'll be happening on the Monday of 4-H Expo, and sell them to whoever wants a deep freeze full of beef. Light horse would be our next biggest one. On Saturday, they compete in their equitation classes. That's showmanship, the Western and English riding classes, I guess you can say. And then the Sunday, they do all of the Gymkhana, which is the ones that are more fun. In the multi side of things, there's the sheep. They'll be fairly good sized numbered again. Once again, with the sheep, you can have your sheep that's your female sheep, bring her in, show her her first year. Next year, you can bring her back in as a mature ewe with her lamb this year. Year after that, bring her back again. And with market lamb, same thing as the steer. Pick them here in January, February, and bring them and sell them in 4-H. Get them to a finished weight and buy some. Hopefully, somebody can buy it and wants them for the deep freeze.
And so, John, you mentioned that these members will be selling these steers and lambs on Monday. If someone is interested in buying an animal and/or buying maybe half or a quarter of an animal, where is the best place for them to get more information and get them set up to buy what exactly they're looking for?
Yeah, if somebody's interested in a beef or a lamb or half or a quarter or something, feel free to reach out to the Lloyd Exhibition office and talk to somebody there. We'll be more than happy to put you in contact with some of these leaders or with an abattoir, local abattoir or butcher shop in the area that is buying beef here at 4-H Expo, and we'll have absolutely no problems getting you guys in contact with anybody that needs their deep freeze filled up. So
thank you so much for all the information, John, and good luck to you and the rest of the 4-H Expo committee on hosting yet another great show.
Perfect. Thanks, Thomas.
Well, the Stanley Cup playoffs are just days away, and 4 Canadian teams will not only have a chance to win the coveted trophy, but also end our country's 31-year cup drought. A new survey shows Canadian fans are split on just which team has the best chance to win the cup. 21% are backing the Toronto Maple Leafs, 20% backing the Edmonton Oilers, 14% think the Vancouver Canucks have the best shot, while 5% think the Winnipeg Jets will end the drought. The last Canadian team to hoist hockey's biggest prize was the Montreal Canadiens back in '93.
That's too long.
Yeah, for sure.
We need a Canadian team, to win this. Hopefully this year. Edmonton's had a great season all year long without that rough start at the beginning. But some great hockey to be played here.
Yeah, is that who gets your vote for if it's a Canadian team?
I would say either Vancouver or Edmonton. Vancouver's a very good team as well. They are deep and could definitely go on a big run here.
Okay, well, I guess we'll have to see. That's all we have for you tonight. Thanks for joining us and have a good evening.